A motion by Helmut.
Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, those government people that make laws and regulations that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. Whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you went and elected. And the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that really important meeting or not. And the result can be a taxing
Situation.
That's right.
And there are rumors that are spread occasionally, so you want to pay close attention as we go through this program, Minutes by Minute. The other thing that we find is humor.
It's scary when rumors become reality, though.
It is, yeah. And often that does occur, you know.
Well,
And the other thing, of course, is humor. And as I pointed out a number of times in other programs that we've run,
some may laugh, some may cry.
and they might float to the top or float to the bottom.
Right.
Whatever shall be, right?
Ah, yes.
Okay, well, there's a number of meetings that we need to talk about. And the first one we're going to have is the Oxford Board of Trustees, which was held on June 12th, which
Is
was
it
a
a
while
township
ago.
or a village?
That would be a township.
Okay.
Yep. What did I say?
Nothing.
Oh. You're just poking that stick already, aren't you? Okay. Bill Dunn, supervisor of the township, of course, leads this wild pack. Curtis Wright, who's the clerk, and Joe Ferrari, who's the treasurer. The trustees are Jack Curtis, Marge Payne, Patty Durr, and yours truly, Elgin Nichols. And recording secretary is Kelly Richter. Right. Very motley crew.
A motley crew.
It is.
A band and a crew.
A band and a crew.
Right.
And first thing they did was preliminaries, of course, the Pledge of Allegiance. Public was asked if there was any information they wanted to input, and Rick Colbert spoke up and from the hills of Oxford, and he was concerned about speed limit on M24. He said people are speeding by, making his property jump up and down, his house moving side to side.
The Hills of Oxford
Hills of
is
Oxford.
a generic topographical term or a specific subdivision?
It's a subdivision,
Oh, okay.
particular one.
All right.
We've talked about it before. Do you remember?
The Hills of Oxford.
Yeah, it's just south of town, on a hill. That's why it's called the Hills of Oxford.
Okie-dokie.
Ooh, sinister. Okay. So anyway, it makes sense. Zoning ordinance was the next thing that they discussed, and it was first reading of the zoning map due to an error in the map originally. So they needed to adjust that, and it was rather quickly done. And then the fire department, Pete Schultz, who's the fire chief, he spoke up about the union contract, and he wanted to assign a bonus. And Joe Ferrari said, that's not gonna, not gonna happen. I said, I don't recall anybody getting a bonus to sign other than football players, basketball players, people like that, not firemen and EMTs. So
People that have fun doing what they're doing, they get paid more.
yeah, right. That one could be. I don't know. They could bang into people here and there or whatever. But anyway, so Joe Ferrari didn't feel that was a good idea. 70% to pass that can take the test. That's a concern. That you can take the test after a certain period of time if you flunk it. And you can come back within a matter of, I think it's 2 months or 3 months, and take it again. And if you flunk it again, you can come back 2 or 3 months. It's not a good idea. And even if you do pass, Treasurer Ferrari said, it's a good idea to even overlook the test completely and look at the skills that these people have when they're working for the fire department.
How many times can you take the bar exam?
I think you can take that 3 times.
And then it's over?
Then you better go back to school.
I see.
Actually, that's interesting to bring that up because what's the young Kennedy, that passed the law exam only on the second time.
I see.
So there's a lot of people that don't pass the bar the first go-round.
Or ever.
Or ever. And the forever people, if you're looking up an attorney, that's not one you want. Right.
I could have been an attorney.
I'm very proud of the fact that my son passed the first time. So that's good. Let me see. Fire department, Pete had quite a discussion as to who's qualified, to be an MT and so forth. And eventually the contract was approved, so it went forward. David Creech, he wanted to point out the fire chief, who was the assistant fire chief, has put a lot of effort and work into the contract and developing it to make sure that everything was the way it should be and perfect in every order. Right?
Right.
Okay, good
Go
job,
ahead.
Mr. Creech. Okay, the other thing was that 2 full-time firemen were to be hired. One is Robert Fitzpatrick, and the other one is Ben Marshall.
Are they replacing people or increasing the number of personnel?
No, these are part-time people, and they're replacing.
Okay.
Yeah. So they fit in, they're well-trained, they're just a perfect fit for this. So after discussion, of course, the trustees approved the effort to hire these 2 guys. Okay, 457 retirement plan was also approved almost immediately, and that's something that was reviewed in advance and approved by the union.
Is it as good as our retirement plan?
What retirement plan?
That's what I meant.
Your retirement plan is if you die.
I see. Then you're officially retired.
Did you ever notice how people are dropping out?
Getting scary.
That's the alternative. Now, which one would you like? You want to negotiate this one?
It's a two-edged
Probably
sword,
not.
isn't it?
Two-edged sword. Yeah. Whoop, there goes another finger, another arm. Okay. Acumed agreement for 5 years was approved as well.
What's that?
That's a good question. Acumed. I recall. I did know, but I don't recall any longer. But it has to do with the
Goes with the gray hair.
With the equipment, yes, or no hair. One or the other.
I used it all.
Well, I've run out of strength on this one. Can I move on?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that then. Forward. Okay. Dayton Street was a conversation that they had. They want to close it off, of course, during the M24.
You mean they want to open it?
Or open, I mean. I said closed, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I think they need to put a toll booth there.
The residents there would be very happy with what you said.
No, they put a toll booth, charge everybody $10.
I
I don't think it'll go. But anyway, for security purposes and getting to people who are having emergencies.
What are they going to do, put a locking gate there or what?
No.
Just open it up?
Well, there'd be a sign there that's only one way kind of thing. You can't drive the other way.
But you
One
can-
way. No way. Either one way, no
Well,
way.
I mean, will it say?
Some way it'll get.
Will it be a true pass-through or will it say emergency vehicles only?
It'll say emergency vehicles only, more than likely. I would think.
Should have been. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And with that, we'll be back right after this with more couldas and shouldas.
Catch us anytime on YouTube. Go to Oxford Community Television YouTube.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we've talked about a number of things so far that went on with the trustee board meeting with the township. And one area I did want to hit on, and that is the Legacy Center, the new business with Christian Mills. And remember, they wanted a patio.
Yeah, is that going to be in the back of the building?
It's going to be on the north side of the building. Not on the back, on the north side.
The north side, that's where the parking lot is.
Well, a parking lot, but there's a building there too. And then there's, are you familiar with the building at all?
Oh,
Where
wait a
the
minute,
bar
north
is?
side- Oh, wait a minute. The north side would be where the old offices
Excuse me,
were.
folks, this may take a while.
Yeah, that's where the office sections were.
Yeah, over
Okay.
there. But behind that is an entrance and an exit, for the bar. in the, I would say, the northwest side of the building.
Police like to be there, don't they? No.
Well, it's concealed from the highway,
I
so
see.
who knows what
Okay.
goes
I
on in
know.
there. No, I'm sure it's pretty safe.
I know.
Christian Mill does a good mill,
Yeah,
does a great
he's
job
good guy.
over there.
He's a good guy.
Yep. So anyway, to make a really long story short, and we just recap this just teensy weensy, they were given a temporary approval to have a patio, but at certain hour requirements in which they could operate and not. And it's kind of look and see what's going to happen, with this, if it
Sure.
be approved. Because you had a number of people, of course,
Well,
who disapproved of this
that
because of noise.
seems to be a trend with an awful lot of restaurants and bars in Oxford now,
It is.
to have a patio or an outside venue.
Yeah, that was pointed out also.
Is a patio the same as an outside venue?
I don't know. Look that one up.
Okay.
All right. We'll check next time. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Sure.
So anyway, the temporary permit was granted, and let me see. There were a couple of people objected to it, but it still went forward because we want to see what kind of issues it's going to bring forth, if any. May not be any at all.
Okay.
So may have a big problem and with no problem, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. Temporary permit will be September 3rd is when it's going to be implemented, I believe.
September 3rd? Won't go for too long, will it? Then it'll cool
No.
off.
I think it's going to start September 3rd.
Like I said.
A temporary permit.
I know.
Oh, I said temporary.
Well, you'll get September in.
Yeah, that's temporary.
Yeah. By choice.
Right, very temporary. But anyway, give them a good opportunity to see what flies and what sinks to the ground. Okay, sanitary sewer connection on M24. Let me see. What is going to be required there? Tap fees increase. We want to talk about that just a hair because it's going to affect contractors, developers.
Yeah.
It's going.
That was a big issue in the village of Oxford, too.
It is. One follows the other, or precedes the
I
other.
guess.
However you look at it, right?
But it does have an effect on whether a business chooses to come into Oxford or not.
Well, actually, these rates are still really low compared to what other
True.
communities charge. For example,
Or whatever deal they can cut.
well, they can't cut these beyond what the requirements of the
are they?
ordinance
Okay.
are.
All right.
So from
No
it's going,
abatements or anything like that?
no, $3,500 to $5,000 is what the ordinance will dictate.
Okay.
And just to point out that these are really fair prices yet, even though they seem high to some people jumping.
Is that like nominal, or is it for a certain size business and goes from there?
No. Well, it depends on, what do they call it? The units that are utilized, I think. How big the pipe is.
Yeah, I forget what
How
that,
much is
I
feeding?
forget what that term is,
Yeah.
but it's
Me too.
an abbreviation.
Me too. Take another note.
I did.
Okay. But anyway, just to give you an idea, other communities, I mean, they charge $10,000, $15,000 for a hookup like this. So it's still a good
Is
price.
it downtown Troy?
Downtown
A little bit
Brandon.
different. well, probably cheaper there. I don't know.
I'm going to tell them we'll hook up water and then send you the bill. Okay. Well, wait. You have water anyway. It just floats to the ground.
That's right.
You have to chase the gerbils off or the chipmunks, but you just splash the water and they
They
paddle their little boats.
they rode away last week.
The water is getting too deep, huh?
Actually, it's dried up now.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, wait. It's supposed to rain all weekend.
last night.
They went into closed session with Attorney Winthrop, and let me see, what did they do there?
Huh.
Oh, they negotiated with the Oakland County, trying to stay off a lawsuit remember that culvert that had to be replaced?
Oh, yeah, on Woodland
Yeah.
Trail?
Yep, and so they said,
Is it Woodland Trail? I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
but they went into renegotiations again with the county for $150,000, and it was negotiated and agreed upon. So,
Who owns this hole?
yeah, yeah. I don't want that hole. It's too deep. I have to fill it with dirt. Anyway, next subject we're going to talk about is the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission, which was held on June 24th.
That's right.
Ed Hunwick is the chairperson. Shar Southerby is the vice chair. And let me see who else we have here.
Bill Dunn.
Yeah, Bill Dunn. He serves on that board as
Maureen
well.
Helmuth.
Maureen Helmuth. Who else?
Jacob Newby.
Yes. Jacob wasn't there, though.
No, he wasn't. He got called away on business.
And let me see. Bill Service actually sits at the table, but non-voting.
Right.
And one other guy, Dave Kinney.
Moi.
Okay. So, and you're not allowed to talk unless spoken to.
That doesn't work so often.
Somehow, I got a feeling that doesn't. Okay. So they did the pledge, of course, and got the preliminaries out of the way. Let me see. Agenda for June 24th was approved. Public comment, none. Minutes for April 28th were approved. Bills. Hey, you had a lot of bills outstanding here, didn't you? From 4/29 to 6/10/2019.
Yep.
And total was $45,104.41. Is
A
that
dollar
right?
here, a dollar there, and you're talking real money after a while.
Yeah, I know. You keep an eye on most of that,
Yeah.
too. Why do you do all your work at night, though? I was just wondering. Okay. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he just slept over in the
Not-
daytime and wanted
Don't
to
find
work
me
at night.
here at night.
Anyway, does a great job, though, I got to tell you, folks. Keeps an eye on every penny. Where'd that penny go? I don't know. I can't stop until I find it. Right?
Close the doors.
Close the
Nothing-
doors.
No one's
lock
leaving.
it. Yeah, right. Year-to-date revenue and expense report for 2019 was received and filed, and question by Helmuth was mileage checks. Oh, yeah. How come there's so much mileage? How many receipts for mileage?
When you serve 4 municipalities and you move slightly further away, yep.
And that's pretty much what happened, I think. Yeah. So anyway, interesting enough, I mean, we've got one company vehicle, which we can't pack everybody in there when they're doing a shoot, because various times, various days that they have to shoot.
That's right.
So we're saddled with using our own vehicles when we're out for a shoot, carrying our equipment around and so forth. So
This is Elgin's bid for a company car.
probably not. I tried that a couple of years ago.
I see.
That didn't work. They gave me 2 little signs I can put on the outside of the vehicle.
Gave you this toy car, put on your desk. There you go.
Right. Well, anyway, I have identifiers that say I'm with the station here. So, anyway, what about yours? You have
What?
no identification on your cars.
Just like my shirt, a stealth.
Yeah, what happened? Did it fall off?
It did.
Old age.
It slid right off.
Okay, with that, we'll be
Teflon
back
shirt.
right after this. Talk about old age. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission meeting held on June 24th. And the next subject on this is the presentation by Terry Stiles, who wanted to discuss PEG fees and how it ties in for AT&T, which they pay 2%, and trying to get the township, well, township's not a problem. Township gives 100%
Oh,
of charter's fees.
and
you know,
we're deeply
franchise fees.
appreciative.
Yep. And PEG fees, of course, are supposed to come to the station automatically under federal regulation.
Matter of being resolved.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some other communities didn't look at it that way, and it wasn't interpreted for them, so they kept the PEG fees, or they didn't let these companies know that they wanted the PEG fees, so consequently didn't get them. Right?
Yeah.
Is that confusing enough?
Sad but true.
Okay. So anyway, she had quite a discussion about this issue, and if you'd like to learn more, go to occtv.org and
Click on Programs. And all of the programs that we record are in reverse date order. And there is a drop-down menu on the side, and the particular subject or municipality that you're interested in, it appears there. Click on that, and you've tunneled down to all that important information.
yeah, that's the way it works. It really does. Good job. Anyhow, we're now going to talk about the Village of Oxford Planning Commission meeting, which was held just yesterday, July 2nd. And Gary Douglas serves as chairman of this board. Maureen Helmuth serves on the board. Rose Bema is on the board. Jack Curtis, Kelsey Cook, Justin Ballard, and Leslie Pilak. serve on the board. Did I get them all?
I think you did.
Okay. Let's go on then, shall we?
Since I know none of these people, I couldn't challenge you.
All right. Pledge was first thing, of course. The agenda for July 2nd was approved immediately. Minutes for June 18th, 2019 were approved immediately. And old business, Village Ridge condos, site plan review. Now remember they had that site plan come before them and it was sent back with some recommendations.
Is this the one on Conda Lane?
Yes, I think it is.
Not Condo Lane?
Village Ridge condos, yeah,
Conda.
conda. It's
Kinda.
conda.
Kinda.
Kinda conda.
Right.
Kinda conda, don't let it bite you. Okay. So anyway, the site plan was to be reviewed and brought back to the Planning Commission. So it was sent back to the Planning Commission as it's scheduled, but the developer wasn't there at this particular meeting. However, there was a whole crowd of people in the audience.
It was
that
sent
wanna-
back to the Planning Commission?
It was sent, Planning Commission had it originally. They made some recommendations,
Oh, then the township sent it
yeah,
back, okay.
from Mario,
Okay.
who's the consultant. And it was sent back to them to make the adjustments to the plan and then,
Oh, okay.
then bring it forward again. So assuming that they did follow every recommendation that was given, then it would just be a matter of putting their stamp on it to go forward with it. However, there were concerned residents with a lot of questions and nobody there to answer the questions, you know, from the project. So after a long, lengthy discussion with people standing up one after another and voicing their concerns, it was agreed that they want to set this aside until they can have a representative come forward again with the answers for these people. They want to ask these questions all over again directly to them and be satisfied with that. And that's what they agreed to do. And now this, you want to watch this by going to OCCTV.org if you want to see the whole thing in its entirety. It was a long session. I'm told it took 2.5, almost 3 hours for this.
That's 3 cups of coffee.
Right. Or, you know, we can try to give you what we pretty much got as a summary out of this, which will take about a minute and a half.
Elgin has a way of encapsulating things.
So hopefully this will be sufficient. But if you want to see what the concerned citizens had, you want to attend this 2.5, 3 hour meeting by going to our website. Okay? I think we got that point, huh?
Okay.
All right. Next thing was recreational marijuana. Oh boy, here we are back again.
Woo!
Smoking again. Okay, so if you remember, this is a long-running story, but if you want to opt out, they need to opt out by September 1st at the very latest. And in order to opt out, you need to have an ordinance in place to opt out. So that, you know, that's part of the regulations from the state of
So-
Michigan. So,
Off we go.
Mario Ortega, who is the consultant for the township and for the village, not for the township, for the village. There's a different consultant, I think. There is.
I believe so, but I don't
Yeah.
know who it is. Okay.
I think it's Wortman.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure, positive.
Yeah, historically, that's been the company that's done
Yep.
that. Yeah.
So anyway, Mario represents the village, and he made a number of recommendations, gave a draft of a proposed ordinance that if the council agrees to go forward with it, he'll document it in a professional form and reposition it or re-represent it, and they can get the approval from the council, village council.
Otherwise
Set the
known as
village-
dipping it in and wringing it out.
Right, if the township, if the zoning board agree, if the planning commission agrees, then the next step is to get the final approval, you know, from the council. So
Okay.
that's where they are right now. And so this thing is going to have to be completed by no later than
September 1st.
You got it. Okay. Recreation marijuana, then that hopefully will end that trail for a while. It has a extension on it, however. If they choose to extend it a little further without making a decision to either approve it or not approve it,
But they'll
There's
also
a
have
no
to
op-
change something else too,
What's that?
the weed control ordinance.
Okay, David. What
Never
kind of
mind.
weed?
Well, that depends.
They have
They're
to
going to have to
single
be a
them
lot more specific now, aren't they?
out? Not dandelions. Not ragweed. I know what you're getting at. Okay, fine, folks. You have to accept that, I guess. It is what it is. Okay. New business? You ready for this?
Yes,
None.
and that's that.
All right, speaking about new business, what's coming up?
Well, on 7/15 at 6 p.m., the Addison Township Board of Trustees will be meeting. And at 6 p.m. also, the Village of Oxford Downtown Development Authority, known as the DDA.
Yes.
And at 7 p.m., the Village of Oxford Zoning Board of Appeals will be having a special meeting.
Yes. Speaking
And I don't
of,
think that one's going to be canceled. In any case, it's on 7/16 at 7 p.m., the Village of Oxford Planning Commission will be meeting. And on 7/18 at 7 p.m., the Village of Oxford... Boy,
yeah.
I messed up that one. Anyhow,
What
at
is-
4:30...
It's a spaghetti dinner. Spaghetti dinner.
At 4:30 on 7/18, NODA will be meeting
Okay. Now,
at the Village of Lake Orion offices,
well, I
as
did want,
opposed to the township.
I heard you mention DDA, and
Yes.
there's a couple of subcommittees going on with DDA.
Oh, really?
One of those is, of
Are you
course,
on one?
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I'm on the M24 task force group.
Oh.
Yeah, right. And so everybody understands by now, hopefully, that, that M24 is going to be under mostly total, maybe almost total, construction starting in March.
Except for southbound traffic.
Southbound traffic, yeah, you're right. It'll continue to flow for a while.
Northbound? Not so lucky.
Right. But we're in the process, as M24 group is designing signage, directional signage, also safety signage for the crosswalks. Going to be 3 crosswalks. We're told that MDOT has chosen asphalt as opposed to concrete, which we kind of disagree with. We think concrete will last longer.
For what?
For the main road.
Through downtown Oxford?
Through downtown Oxford.
They're going to use asphalt?
Asphalt, they are.
It doesn't make as much noise.
No, it don't last as long, that's why.
Oh.
After a while, it's silent, except for the potholes, which may be generated, I don't know. Hopefully, we can live long enough to see that.
Well,
The average life with a big, heavy truck like that is about 10 years.
unless they
Let's
can
see.
get around those separator strips for the concrete, go whoopity, whoopity, whoopity.
Hey, anything's better than that, right?
Right.
I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenning.
Catch you next time on Minutes by Minute, right here.
See you then.
We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.